And then we move over to the keyboards. Typically, in today's world, we do use a USB keyboard. In the older days, we'd use a PS2 keyboard. Now, interestingly enough, the keyboard that I have on the screen for you there, you'll notice it has both a green and a purple cable coming out of it. And the reason is because I just thought I would also show you that certain keyboards back in the day also would have either a trackball or a touchpad of some kind built into them. I mean, yes, we see that in laptops, but I'm talking about for a desktop system. And this particular keyboard has a touchpad in the lower right hand corner of it. And so that means that this keyboard was acting as both a keyboard and a mouse, and that's why it had keyboard and a mouse connector as well. And then, of course, we also have the wireless keyboards, which, again, notice I've pulled one out that is a keyboard and touchpad combo. They don't always come that way. You have various options. But this particular wireless keyboard would work just like the wireless mouse in the sense that you would have the receiver, which would go ahead and plug into a USB port. And then as long as the keyboard was within range, you could go ahead and use it. Now, there is one last thing that I want to show you. This is, again, history lesson. Going back in time, I mentioned back in the motherboards lesson about the old AT motherboard and how you could recognize it because it had the old AT keyboard connector. Well, that's what we're looking at here. This is not something that you should see anywhere in today's day and age, but I thought I would show it to you just in case you come across some old computer equipment or it ever comes up. And what you're looking at on the left is the actual port that you'd find on the back of the motherboard. It's what it looked like. And then on the right is what the actual connector looks like on the cable coming from the keyboard that would plug into that connector. Although it may be difficult to tell from the picture, all right, because it's all a matter of proportion. I will tell you that this connector is larger than the PS2 connector. I mean, I don't know the exact measurements, but I mean it's probably pretty close to twice the diameter of the PS2 round connector. So it's notably bigger. You're not going to accidentally plug an AT connector into a PS2 port or the other way around.